Okay, folks, so I've got a music video I'm going to review, and that is The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. Now, this was the lead single off of Antichrist Superstar. If you caught my review I did a handful of years ago on Antichrist Superstar, I wasn't quite, as I messed with some of this music, the first songs I didn't really go for, I didn't think was the singles, so that would have been Tourniquet and The Beautiful People. When a music video comes out, I didn't pay attention to it right away, but I think I'm going to start doing that a little bit more. I mean, really, Antichrist Superstar has resonated, so I figured, what the hell? Let's get into some of this. It gives me an excuse to talk about Antichrist Superstar again, and it gives me an excuse to kind of mention some better rock albums just because they're so solid. And this is an album I own, I mess with quite constantly. I listen to Tourniquet more nowadays, but I still like to listen to The Beautiful People. I mean, that's the song that got more rotation, but I still feel like there's a lot of good songs on that album. And I'm glad that Marilyn Manson did more than just two music videos. I know The Beautiful People probably got a lot of spins on MTV and maybe VH1 and places like that, but what I really thought as far as the rest of the album was I like when projects actually get multiple videos, so it gives you something else to talk about. Because once a music video goes flat, it kind of almost seems at times that the promotion for the album is about up. Maybe it lasts for a month or two afterward, but that's just kind of the thing. So with this one, it kind of has the first thing Wikipedia said about this was that it's a very creepy music video, and I would have to agree with that. I'm going to say that Marilyn Manson, the band, not just the man, but the band, their imagination is pretty vivid back then, and I mean, I don't know who came up with some of these ideas, but it was exciting to see just because, I mean, most of the time, the Marilyn Manson band is not going to just have a cut and paste, oh, this is, this at some night venue or something like that. I mean, it actually felt like they were trying to show like some of the more grotesque and just sickening type things that go on. And I'm assuming that this was somewhere in the East. I mean, they said it was. I mean, if you pay attention to Antichrist Superstar, the storyline to that project, it kind of has to do with like a demagogue or something like that, and a bunch of different things. It's a pretty intricate plot. I mean, it's not just. It could probably be a movie. Something in that vernacular is just kind of dealing with what you're getting there. But really, there's a lot of stilted things that go on. I mean, they have like these things on their mouth that look like they're trying to force their mouths open, like they're wired. It really looks like a bad set of braces or something like that. There's a bunch of things. They're on stilts for a little while, like some of the things that the clowns do. I mean, it was strange just trying to figure out some of the stuff that went on with it. There's a lot of, uh, this freakishly different type thing, something you'd probably see in a freak show or something like that. I mean, it's tough to kind of, point out every single thing, but Marilyn Manson didn't care. I mean, he sat there and it's not just, well, it actually is more them that are doing it, the band that's dressing up that way, but there are other people involved. But it just was tricky. I would have liked some sort of subtitles to go along with it just to figure out what exactly is going on. It almost makes me wonder if it has to do with, if they're trying to put the song together or they expect you to know it going in. I mean, I looked up the lyrics a couple years ago and I knew, but I just don't remember. It's kind of phased out. I mean, this album's kind of been in the background for me. It hasn't been in constant rotation. I mainly listen to the creepier songs. Like, I really enjoy Angel with the Scabbed Wings, and that's another one. I wish they would have done a video for that one. I mean, that one's pretty upbeat and ready to go. So, but I know they did Tourniquet, and I definitely think that as far as that one goes, I'll probably wind up reviewing that one too. I mean, I'm just going to start really getting into the swing of this. But yeah, I mean, the whole atmosphere, this fits in pretty well with the setting that I have for my channel, and I definitely wanted to encompass that. I feel almost like I need to talk about the setting in terms of like the plot of what they were trying to do, but it did feel like there was some sort of this real, I mean, it has to do with like a particular frame of mind. I think it has to do with culture and just that sort of thing, this thinking. I would almost say maybe religious thinking, but it just seems like something like that. But as I'm gonna have to get into it more. But in terms of the video, the setting for it was pretty creepy. I think that's definitely the thing. It was pretty freakish. I liked where it was going with it, and I would definitely have to say I want, it makes you want the rest of the project to have like continual things just like that. So I'll probably wind up doing a few more of these. I'm gonna have to say I was impressed just with like the visual effects. It was an exciting video. I did want to see the whole thing. I wasn't thinking, I'm gonna X out of this and it's kind of boring and that sort of thing. I mean, I have to, seeing as this is my first music video that I've reviewed. I mean, I've done reactions, but I need to review it. So I would just say in terms of visual appeal, it does work out pretty well. So I think the first thing most people are going to notice is it just kind of almost feels like real sinister and that sort of thing. But yeah, so just kind of need to get a grasp of what else there is to talk about. I mean, yeah, it basically provides a visual to the song. I mean, if the song wasn't spooky enough, if that didn't send chills down your spine, maybe it did when you first heard it, but as it continues to do it, this is definitely a good feeling, I would say. So I like the idea behind it. So I'll probably give this music video either like a 7.5 out of 10 or an 8. I mean, really, the only thing I think about it, the only thing I would really say is I think you have to understand the lyrics to the song to know. It's not too much of a problem, but you would have to really pay attention to it to understand what's going on, because it almost feels like we need a dialogue to kind of determine what's exactly happening. But I mean, if you're just taking it at first glance or something like that, all it really is like, okay, this is some sort of dark carnival or something like that, some sort of carnivorous freak show that you're kind of wondering, okay, what's going on. But it worked for MTV. I mean, if you flip through the channels back in '97 or something like that and you see this video, it's like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I'm gonna watch this to the end, and then after that, it's probably like, oh, someone else is on. I mean, it has replayable value. I would definitely say that it's replayable. It's not just you watch it once and it's like, okay, I'm moving on. Probably, maybe like a once every couple of months type thing or something, maybe 2 or 3 times every couple of months just to kind of check in on it. I mean, it's not as if, I mean, really it's an extra thing to do, and that's kind of where I come from. I haven't watched music videos all the time, but back when I did, the ones I wanted to watch again and again were the ones that I specifically remembered. And I kind of think that in some portions with this, I mean, it feels like this is probably a good one, but it mostly is dark. I mean, it doesn't go for humor. It just goes for like, I would probably say it's pretty similar to like The Shining or something like that. It seemed to have like, a certain, almost like horror show type feel to it. So obviously it pretty much fits right in with the winter time. I would say it feels more like a scary winter type cold night more so than a glossy and bright cheery summer day or something. So it's not too bad, definitely worth seeing, so look into it.